Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. Just a minute ago, I was playing Genesis on Amazon Fire. What I got here right now is I'm going to be reheating some orzo that my mom made. So I have the orzo here, okay, which she's already cooked. And then I have sort of this vegetable and shrimp, okay? What I'm going to do is basically put it in a pan, a large pan here. My mom has this wok, but the wok doesn't have a lid. It's got this large lid though. And I'm going to use this lid. I had to clean it off. I'm going to put a little bit of fat in there and some water, then heat it up slowly. I got to turn on the fan, so we have the air ventilation. I'm going to get a cup of water, about a cup and a half of water. I'm going to use tap water here because I'm not buying the bottled water myself. And get about 12 ounces of water, just about a cup and a half. It's going to go in the pan here. I'm going to turn this on. That's hot. I can't tell. I'm going to go down to medium low. This will be sort of a slow heat up. And then what I can do is basically just leave this in the pan throughout the day and come and eat it a little bit later. As I got up pretty early, I'm going to go take a nap in the morning or something, rest. I spilled soda on the counter. I'm going to get sort of something to stir this around just a little bit. Open a window, just a little bit. I'm gonna get a chair to sit down in. I don't want it to reheat too long, but what I will do is as this fat in there starts to sort of melt a little bit, I'll start adding some of the orzo to it. Just wait until most of it melts. Now we're going to add the orzo. I'm having a hard time holding on to this glass container, so I'm just going to kind of add it there. Scraping on the side with this sort of hard plastic spatula does not really work right now. Just sort of keep at it, I guess. Go up just above medium low. Some of the fat still hasn't melted, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on it here. And then as this gets warmer, we're going to add the vegetables and the shrimp. These are sort of a smaller, medium-sized shrimp. And once they've been cooked, so I don't think they have the tails on them. Oh, I splashed it everywhere. Can't believe that. And I'm going to get another spatula just to get some of this liquid out of here. Put all over my arm. Oh, that's spatula looks like it's practically dirty. Make sure some of that liquid from the vegetables and shrimp is sort of spread out around the edges of the pan with the orzo. And then that fat is going to soak in to the orzo and the vegetables. The only trick here is that as the shrimp cooks, what I've noticed, the longer you cook shrimp, in Vancouver when I was cooking shrimp, if I added it to a steak in the oven, sometimes that shrimp would basically totally dissolve into sort of a seafood type of thing. And same here as you cook the shrimp. If you recook the shrimp, whether you microwave or in a pan, they'll continually get smaller. And so that's just kind of one of the things you kind of got to keep an awareness for as I put the lid on here and it's going to get steamy and hot is, how long do you want to cook the shrimp after you've cooked it initially, right? Initially when you cook it, right, it's soft, maybe translucent. It becomes no longer translucent and white and reddish or orangish. And then after that it hardens and firms and hardens. And then it becomes smaller, right? Some of these shrimp, it depends on where you cook it and how you cook it. If you cook it in water, usually it just gets smaller and hardens. But if you cook it, let's say in an oven in a steak dish or something, you want to add a little shrimp to the steak or whatever, and it cooks in the fat or the butter, whatever you add to the steak, right? Sometimes it ends up just totally dissolving. And so shrimp is one of those things that has to sort of be cooked for a shorter term. Not term, but shorter amount of time. It'll cook faster with a higher temperature, but the longer it cooks, the more, the higher probability was that it'll just totally dissolve. So basically this is a reheat, and so I'm going to set the timer for about 10 minutes once it boils, I think. Because I'm going to have quite a bit of liquid in there. I want that liquid to evaporate off. So I'm going to put the lid on for a little while and then take the lid off. We turn it on. I don't want to get it too high temperature because I added liquid to it. See how long it takes for it to boil in this thing here. I'll set the timer now for 15 minutes just to see how long it takes. And maybe today I'll go outside for a little while, just kind of walk around a little bit, or just sit outside maybe if it warms up today. My parents going to that appointment. I started the timer, right? This lid doesn't have a vent on it, so I just gotta kind of gotta blow my nose. I'm gonna open the door here and just kind of see outside. Cold air kind of comes in. Hear the birds. You can see me out there, just sort of standing in the doorway here. There's a robin over here, a robin bird over by the wood pile. These birds are flying out here. Close the door. And I still have the window open here. I don't know if you can hear the birds out there. I can hear them right in that doorway. Blow my nose again. Take this lid off real quick. Just make sure everything's ready for this to warm up and cook. Cook, not cook, reheat. We'll turn it up to just about medium, which is going to be too hot, but we'll just try to get it going here. It does get cold here in the morning. even in the summer, now that we're into the summer. Okay, so this is boiling now. And we're just going to sort of leave the top off as it's got that boiling going. Sort of a low boil. And just kind of about 10 minutes. I'll turn it down just slightly. Seems like I turned it down. The boiling almost stops, but I'll just readjust it on here. Turn it back up just a tiny bit. And now it gets too high, so I'm going to turn it back down again. It's good. This is sort of mild, but with good vegetables and good flavor. I was just thinking about, should I add a little bit of that salt, garlic powder, and onion powder I have from when I was previously cooking or seasoning the pork. And I said, no, I don't add any salt to this. This probably already got some in there from the fat that I added and already before. I can add some salt and pepper after when I eat it later, but I thought it's a little too early to add the garlic powder, onion powder as well. I'll get a much more higher flavor, but I really want to, but I'm not going to. Maybe because I got a cold, I don't know. I want to add a couple of, but all right. So I'm gonna put the lid on. I'm gonna turn off the timer. And now I'm gonna turn off the stove. And then I'm gonna let it sit there. So, oh, bang the chair, I'm sorry. All right, I hope you're doing good, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.